Fear, the one emotion that keeps us alive, and yet fear, the same one emotion that stops us from living. What a paradox. Fear, the emotion that could be a very good thing. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9 verse 10. And still the same emotion that stops us from achieving our deepest desires and dreams. The lazy person claims there is a lion on the road. Yes, I'm sure there is a lion out there. Proverbs 26:13. Fear. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of pursuing? What are you afraid of starting? What are you afraid of going out there and seeking? Are you afraid to go out there and ask for the raise at the value that you deserve? Are you afraid to go out there and speak out for what you know that was wrong? Is fear stopping you from setting out and leaving everything behind and pursuing what you really love and dream about? Is fear stopping you from doing what you know deep down your heart that this is the right thing to do? But then fear, you keep asking yourself, what if everything goes wrong? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if things don't work out as I've planned? Fear. When you study the birds like the eagles, they don't have any fear of flying, and there is only one reason for that. When you study the great predators in the jungle, the lion, the tigers, when they pursue prey that are 10 times bigger than them, they don't have any fear, and it's still for one reason and one reason only, and that reason is that they know that they were born for this. The day you realize that whatsoever you're afraid of, that if you're truly passionate about this thing, if it has truly God has laid it in your heart that this is what you must do, this is where you belong, this is who you were born to be, you were born for this, if you really are convinced by that, then the only way you beat fear is convincing yourself, I was born for this. Because if you were born for something, then there is nothing that can go wrong. It doesn't mean you will not fail, because failure has no relation with fear. Failure is simply a preparation for success, because if you don't fail, you cannot appreciate success. If there is no failure, there is no success, because how do you know you have succeeded? You need to be able to measure the success you have achieved, what you wanted, with the failure, what you did not want. But if there is neither failure, then you can for sure say that this success is mine. So failure has nothing to do with fear. And it may interest you to know that there is no way you can ever get rid of fear. So if you have been looking for some form of procedure, some form of things that you can do, exercises you can practice, or another seminar that you go for a training and then they're going to teach you and convince you and finally get rid of your fear, then you are terribly wrong, because fear is an integral part of life. Remember, it keeps us alive. Without fear, you won't know what is danger to avoid it. So fear is definitely a companion for your lifetime. So the only way you beat fear is stepping out and taking action even in the midst of that fear. Because the fear is not an enemy, it's a companion to warn you when things are getting too dangerous. But then you can let you give you a false alert even when things aren't dangerous. So don't wish to get rid of your fear. No, desire to make that fear a companion, that you know when to hear and listen to it and when to ignore it and pursue what you need to pursue. Because in the face of anything that you were born to do, whatever alarm the fear is giving you is just a false alarm. And whatever you were not born to do, every alarm that the fear gives you is a valid alarm. You are definitely not born to fly. So if you want to jump from a plane without a parachute and fear is telling you, oh my goodness, man, you're going to die, you might want to listen to that fear, because at that point it's definitely correct. We are not saying you should be some crazy maniac and jump out there and kill yourself. Remember, fear keeps us alive. So we are saying is you should know that whatever you were born to do, fear is your companion and just a companion. Whatever you weren't born to do, fear is your safety instructor to tell you when not to overstep yourself. So this week before that presentation, feel that fear and say, I was born for this, and climb that stage anyway. This week before that opportunity to engage, feel the fear and tell yourself, if I was really born for this and I know I was born for this, I'll feel the fear and go on anyway. So feel the fear and pursue what you were really born for, because the moment you start, you realize the fear disappears. It was just there as a signal. But in that case, because you were born for that. It didn't really matter what the fear was saying. So put fear in its right place, and you're going to be able to achieve the deepest desires and dreams, and even beyond your wildest imaginations of your potential. Let fear keep you alive, but don't let it stop you from actually living. It's up to you to figure out the difference. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe if you're new here. A big shout out to all our patrons, and until the next video, get out there and take your fear along.